former zookeeper turned wild animal whisperer, animal conservationist who's become a social media phenomenon with millions of followers through his posts, and it's the real Tarzann. Michael, how you doing?
I'm good, and you, man?
Great, we appreciate it. So Mike Holston is with us. Anyone who has a question for Mike, go ahead and let me know either in the chat or with your raise hand function. First, we're going to start, though, with a quick question for you. Just how did this joining Triller for this come about, and how forward are you looking to this fight on Triller Fight Club?
I mean, I'm super excited, man. You know, I wanted to get into the whole, you know, charitable organizations and donations for conservation. And I came up with, you know, different methods of how to, you know, help the animals. You know, they're in such dire need of help. And, you know, I had actually got challenged by somebody in the animal world a couple months back, and it kind of sparked my interest. You know, it got my competitive drive going. So with seeing, you know, Jake and Logan Paul and everybody, you know, doing their thing, I said, man, I figured I can get into something like this too, and really, you know, raise some eyes and, you know, change the clock on conservation. You know, there's a lot of money involved in these prize fights, in this boxing, and this just in combat sports, you know. So I feel I can come in, you know, and bring my platform to fight for a greater cause than myself, than, you know, a greater cause than combat. You know, I want to do it for animals. So I prayed about it, and I talked to my, you know, a couple of close friends and family of mine, and before you know it, you know, I ended up being in the right place at the right time. I met one of the guys from Triller. I told him, I said, hey, man, I want to fight. You know, I know you got a card in September, so put me in, you know, and put me in for, you know, any card you got available. So he hit me up like 2 days later, like, hey, I got a fight for you. I'm like, all right, cool, when? He's like, June 19th. I'm like, holy shit, that's close. I'm like, who? He's like, Vitor Belfort. I'm like, dude, count me in. You know, I wouldn't pass the opportunity up in a lifetime. You know, the average person would say, hey, I need to hold a training camp and this and that. But of course, I know I know what I'm getting myself into. You know, and you know, animals don't have any time left. You know, so I can't even wait till September. You know, I'll take that 2-week notice. If it was a fight the next day, I'd take it. You know, I do whatever it takes for them. So I'm honored to have the opportunity, and I look forward to more fights. You know, after this, you know, full training camps. You know, more opponents. You know, any way I can get in, I'm down. MMA, boxing, you name it, I'm there.
Yeah, Vitor spoke very highly of you, and you just mentioned now that when you heard his name, you were all in on it. Tell me about your thoughts about, you know, it's Vitor Belfort. He's one of the all-time greats.
Oh, man, I know exactly who Vitor Belfort is, man. You know, I grew up watching fights with my father, boxing and MMA, so to be able to have the chance to, you know, fight somebody I used to watch a long time ago, you know, and up still till today, you know, he's a complete, I wouldn't even call him a legend, man. He's probably one of the founding fathers of MMA, you know, of combat sports. So to be able to hop in the, you know, in any type of environment, I mean, even to shake the guy's hand is a complete honor, you know, for myself. I look at myself as a young warrior, as I always did as a kid. So to be able to hop in the, you know, the ring with the seasoned warrior like himself, it's just an honor, man. You know, I'm super excited. You know, it's something I get to tell my kids about, you know, and I feel deep in my heart and in my soul that, you know, this type of eyes, you know, I can tell my fans and my platform and all the people around the world to say, hey, this cause right here is for conservation only. We're fighting for animals. You know, we're fighting for the rights of animals, the voice for animals. So if I get to go in and fight the best of the best, whoever on 2 days notice or a day notice, that's what I have to do, man. I'm here to fight. You know, challenging myself like that is definitely dangerous. You know, going in a closed environment with Vitor is definitely dangerous. But as you guys know, I'm no stranger to danger. You know, this is what I do. You know, and I'm so happy for it. I'm excited. I'm on my way to go train now, actually. So
awesome. All right, next up is Brendan Tobin.
Hey Tarzann, congrats on getting the fight.
Thank you, man.
Know that you've got a close relationship with Tyrone Spong. Are you training with him in the lead up into this fight for the match against Vitor? Are you doing strictly boxing? What's your prep going to be like going into this?
Yeah, man, I've been training with Tyrone for about like almost 6 years now. You know, he's like a big brother to me. I used to work probably like 2 miles from his house. So when I met him, many moons ago, I didn't even know he was a fighter. My boss I had a long time ago, he told me about his dogs. He had some really cool dogs. So we hopped on a little side by side. We'd go get some pizza down the street, and he pulled over to Tyrone's house. And again, I had no clue who the guy was. So I wasn't even like, I'm an animal guy. So when someone told me he had nice dogs, I'm like, yo, I want to go see him. So I saw these crazy dogs he had, and we ended up just hanging out and talking. And then, he's got all these chickens and all these, different animals, these different birds. And it was just so cool to see someone that looked just like me, tattoos, tons of animals, super competitive, and just a warrior at heart and also a great person, So ever since then, I always see him. We always got this big brother, little brother thing, where he starts throwing punches and kicks. And of course, it's Tyrone Spong, there's no match for me. But, the guy that I am, I'm always fighting him back, wrestling him, punching him back. It's fun, man. So, it's something we talked about, all the time. These YouTubers are out challenging these actual real fighters and real killers, in a disrespectful manner. And, he came to me one day, like a year ago. He's like, Mike, definitely should get up into this boxing stuff and this, fighting stuff, man, and come humble some of these YouTubers. And I'm like, man, that's not my place. That's you guys' place, And I would never in my life disrespect these guys or, call them out like that, because I know they put their heart, their body, and their soul into this entire craft. For someone to come up on a YouTube aspect and challenge them, it's a bit disrespectful. But, I feel training with the right people for, the right amount of time, I could be able to challenge someone of that caliber maybe 5 years from now when I'm in my 30s or something, But for right now, I'm still getting my feet wet. But even though I'm jumping in the deep end with Vitor, I'm still getting my feet wet. But yeah, I start training boxing with Tyrone about last week, just prepping for the fight once we got the news. And I'm on the way over there now to go prep some more.
And just a quick follow-up, you've been down in Miami for a while, just the idea that you're getting a chance to do this in your town. How much are you looking forward to that?
Oh, I'm excited, man. I came here about 10 years ago, right out of high school and, out of college. I spent about one semester in college playing football. So I said, man, I'm going to move to Miami and chase my real dreams and my goals. So here I am 10 years later, fighting Vitor on a boxing card for animal conservation. So it's pretty cool, man. I was homeless for a while when I moved here. About a year, I slept in my car working on my animal job, and I was shower at the gym. So, I'm no stranger to controversy and, adversity and overcoming it.
Awesome. Brendan, thank you. Next up is Dylan Boker.
Hey there, Mike. Appreciate you making the time.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
I was just curious because, the way you're talking about this, I feel like I almost know the answer, but thought to posit it all the same. I'm kind of curious what the overall combative arc looks like here. Is this like a try it out, bucket list, see how it feels kind of situation, or is there a desire to go on a multi-fight run?
Oh no, for sure, multi-fight run. I'm not gonna come in here and like these guys, take a dive for some money or whatever the case may be. I'm coming in to fight. I'm coming in and challenge myself. I'm a man, so at the end of the day, I'm down to go out on my shield. This is not no walk in the park for me. This is not something I want to try. It's something I'm all in on. I'm 10 toes down on what I do and what I stand for. And something needs to change in my world for animals. And I feel hopping into combat sports and raising some money for charity all around the world in different conservation efforts. This is one of the ways to go. I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve. This is just one of them. And, a lot of people that do know me, they know I go 110% every single day. So this is not just a one and done. I'm going to try it and see how it goes. No, I'm in here. I'm here.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I kind of got that sense anyway, but thought to posit it all the same. And just a quick follow-up. So it seems like the familiarity exists with the MMA space. Is there also the desire to take a mixed martial arts fight as well, or just solely boxing more so?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's what I really wanted to do with MMA. I talked to Triller. I was like, hey, man, when's your first, cage match? I want to hop in there and, and fight in a cage, and they said it was coming pretty soon. So hopefully, you know, whenever they do, you know, launch that, I'll be able to, you know, hop on that card and get some scraps in. That's what I really like. Boxing's, you know, boxing's a fight, but, you know, I know cage fighting is definitely probably where I can do a whole lot better at. But for now, I'm focused on boxing until they open those doors.
All right. Thanks very much. We have one more question from Stuart at Grassroots Boxing. He's on the chat here, but his voice isn't working. His volume's down. What do you think your inspiration, the great Steve Irwin, would make of your fight with Vitor?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure if it was, you know, if it was up to him, he'd fight anything, any day, anytime, anyone for the sake of conservation. You know, that man put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and a lot of years into his craft of preserving wildlife. So I don't think he would shy away from it, you know, and if he saw someone like me going up to it, I don't know how he'd feel or how he'd react. But, you know, as a young man who looked up to him myself, I hope he'd be proud, you know, I hope he'd be happy, you know.
Great. All right, thank you. If there are no more questions, just remind everyone that the press credential information and the website are in the chat. If you need those, my information is there as well. Mike, want to thank you, Tarzann, for joining us today, and we'll see you next week. And anyone who needs a recording of today's session, if you didn't record it, my information is there. Go ahead and send me an email or a text, and I'll get that to you. And Mike, have a great one. Thanks so much. And everyone, thanks for joining us today. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, we have one tomorrow at 2 o'clock. With Franchon, Cruz DeZern, and Michael Hunter. And then Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, Andy Vences and John O'Carroll will be here with us. Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
guys.
Mike.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.